the man ought to love
Yes.
his wife, and my place is to submit to you. It doesn't say I love you, I ought to love you,
Yes, yes.
but I should submit
Yes.
to you. Your success in this marriage is going to be based on how well you articulate that office.
Wow. It is not good for man to be alone, so I'll make him a helper. So, are you a helper? So, if you're a helper, then is that not good enough reason for you to submit?
Are you bringing to the table what that office entails?
When you say the Holy Book says the man is a hunter, is a helper, is the hunter.
He's the hunter, I'm the helper.
Yeah. What's the other thing you just said there? The man is a helper.
The prophet.
There's
The
something else
priest
you
of
said.
the home.
No, there's that. And then, anyway, I can't remember very well what you said. But you said the man is a hunter and you're the helper. So, two questions for you then. If the man is then the hunter and is expected to bring home to be the helper, is that not enough reason for you as a woman to be submissive? Do you need another reason to be submissive? Do you need me to give you another vision to you to submit to the fact? Question one. Two.
Let's start
Deal
with
that one
question.
first, yeah? Do you need enough reason? Okay, you've already told me that, and the book says, and we have this thing as human beings, given our backgrounds, yeah, given where we come from. We're not going to say where we come from.
Yeah.
So, and we have this thing of what am I submitting to? Who do you think you are? Kind of, you get that kind of attitude. So the fact that the book, and I will always, if you're my wife, even if I haven't got a vision, I will always take you to the Bible. You say the Bible says, in the book of whatever, this, husbands, whatever. Okay, love your wives. Women submit. Oh, it is not good for man to be alone. So I'll make him a helper. So are you a helper? So if you're a helper, then is that not good enough reason for you to submit? Do I need to give you another reason that I have to have money, I have to go out and hunt, or maybe whatever? Do you know what I mean?
So are you? Let me make sure I'm getting you correct before I respond. Are you saying I should just submit because I'm a helper, and are you saying that should just be enough because that's you know?
I think that's the baseline. I think that's the benchmark. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but a lot of women struggle with submission because they feel that, who do you think you are? We are okay. This is the reason why a lot of women struggle because they feel. I even said to you off camera that I'm also going to work. I'm bringing home the money. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So we kind of equal mates, in the relationship.
Okay.
So the woman feels that she's equal with you as a man,
right?
Because she's doing as much, maybe even more than the man.
Right.
So why? Give me a reason why I should submit to you if I'm doing the same as you, when actually you are the one who's meant to go out and bring home the bacon. You're actually not doing that.
Okay.
We're doing 50-50, and then you expect me to submit to you.
Okay.
You're not giving me a reason to. But
Right.
I've already told you. I've given you a reason. The reason is, it doesn't matter what the vision is. It says clearly the woman is a helper. So you being the helper, that gives you enough reason. The only reason to be submissive. Over to you.
So you've said a lot, Chris, and
Sorry.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this.
Sorry.
Okay. So I want to start with submission. Is such a big word.
I know, and it's so difficult.
Right.
Difficult.
And if we want to be correct, Chris, yes, the Bible is very clear. I think it's Ephesians 5:20. Is it 21 to 25? Somewhere there. It talks about how we ought to be doing this marriage, like the man's place in marriage and my place. So the man ought to love his wife, and my place is to submit to you. It doesn't say I love you, I ought to love you, but I should submit to you. I just want to, allow me to just talk about an experience that I had 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, I attended a traditional wedding ceremony in Manchester,
Which I know about.
which you know about. And I just, there was the man of God, the pastor who officiated at that ceremony, said something so significant for me anyway. I don't know about others, but for me it really stood out for me. What stood out for me, he was addressing the bride and the groom, and he said, you have to realize that being a husband is an office and being a wife is an office. Yeah. So your success in this marriage is going to be based on how well you articulate that office.
Wow.
You know.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God.
That's so
Oh
true.
my God. I've never
Looked at
considered it that way. It's an office. You know, how you do things. Now, you know, so if you're going to be in an office, you know, you have a role. You know, your role is husband. Your role is wife. What is expected of a husband or a wife in that role? You know, in the marketplace, you know, you're applying for a job. You look at the job title, you look at what they're offering. But what do you look at to ensure that you are fit for that role? You look at the requirements. You look at the job description. You know, they're looking for somebody with 5 years experience, who's got an MBA and all of that. But then they break it down, that job description. You've got to be able to do this A, B, C, and D. Okay. And that gives you the complete package. This is the expectation. If you're going to be in that role, this is, you know, these are the expectations. So going back to marriage now, you know, if your husband, if your wife, you've got the title already, your husband, right? Do you understand
what that office entails?
What that office entails? Are you bringing to the table what that office entails?
I love that word, bringing to the table.
It's not enough to just have a title and you don't know how to carry out the responsibility or the requirement of that title or that job role. So that really, honestly, I sat there and I was thinking, oh my God, I'd never considered it an office, but it actually is. You know, so in an office, in the marketplace where the, let's call it what, the accountant doesn't really know what they're doing, the HR practitioner doesn't know what they're doing, the administrator doesn't know what they're doing, it's going to be chaotic, right? And productivity equal to very minimum. I don't know what kind of results we're going to get out of that situation. So same, even in a marriage setting, if you and I don't know what we're doing, we don't know what our roles are, in that marriage setting, we are not going to be able to, you know, to fully enjoy our marriage because we are not fulfilling our roles. So going back to our conversation now. So if I know my role, my function, my requirements, and you know your requirements in that marriage institution, it shouldn't be difficult, Chris. You know, it shouldn't be about Chris is bringing the bigger pack, you know, he's getting more. Yes, you know, it's somewhere there, we, you know, it's to our advantage, you know. But as long as Chris is fulfilling his role in that marriage institution, Grace will naturally, you know, play her role. It fits in. It's like a bolt and a nut, isn't it? They just glide into each other like that, you know. You know your part, I know my part. When we come together, we're just executing something really beautiful, you know. And so then that word comes in. I'm submitting to somebody who knows what their place is in the marriage. The reason why a lot of, some women, because I don't want to paint everybody with that brush. Some women would struggle with submission is because they're turning around and saying, what am I submitting to? And I think by that they're saying, this man doesn't know his role in this marriage setting. He is not fulfilling his role. So it becomes difficult. I could be trying, or then maybe I get to a place where I'm no longer trying because why should I bother? Because people are like that. We're human, you know. Why should I be putting in so much when Chris clearly doesn't know what he's doing? So I think that's where that's for me, that was like an awakening to say, as long as we're both fulfilling, as long as I'm fulfilling my role and you're fulfilling your role, these other things should easily fit in together.
Okay. Two things for you. So when you say that it's your office. The man know what your office is, what your role is in the office, and the woman the same. So already you've answered your question then, your own question, because if you know your role, now we're talking about you as a woman. If you know your role in your office, what you're supposed to do, then that in itself is why you need to submit then. That is your role. Leave aside a little bit for now what the man is supposed to be doing. You know your role as a woman in that marriage. So that for you is enough for you to submit. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay.
Regardless of whether the man is doing or is not doing. That is, and I've always said to women, I say, look, you're saying the man is not doing, do your bit as a woman then. What you know you're supposed to do in the relationship, and I'm not talking about washing his socks or cleaning or what, just do your role as a woman. And let him do his role.
Okay.
Don't try and do his role, or don't try and say, oh, because he's not doing, then I'm not going to do. No, then you're not going anywhere.
Okay. No, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, absolutely. You know, yes, it should be easy. Easier said than done, actually. That because I know my role, what the expectation is of me as a wife, then I should just naturally slide into that role and just mind my role. And not worry. But if my role is not being reciprocated, if the I'm just trying to bring it back to the marketplace, you know, if the person who does the figures in the workplace, you know, whoever is responsible for, you know, working with the figures, does the figures, and those who are supposed to process those figures don't process them. Or, for example, HR, you know, if somebody has done the hours and nobody runs payroll, what's going to happen to the hours that have been worked?
Yeah, you're not going to get them.
You know, I'm just.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying is then, okay, when you say that, then it means you're waiting for him to respond. You do something, then he responds. If he doesn't respond, then you think, what am I doing this for? If he's not responding to if he's not seeing what I'm doing.
Right. Okay. It shouldn't be a place where I'm waiting for him to respond. I think the good place to be is where I am, like what you said earlier. I should just be fitting into my role.
Yes.
You know, doing what I'm expected to be doing, and hopefully get Chris reciprocating by fulfilling his role. If then Chris is struggling to fulfill that role, then we should be getting to a place where we are having conversation. We are sitting down. We're talking about this. Chris, I feel like, you know, you're not really carrying your load, or I feel overwhelmed because I'm doing this. And we have conversation about it, because like I've said, I think in the previous conversations that we've had, communication is key. Yeah. It's not enough for me to just, you know, go out there or have a rant or get into my own space, isolate myself and just think, well, Chris is not doing his part, when I've actually not articulated that to you. You know, there has to be communication. If at any point I feel, you know, you're not giving me enough, or I'm not getting anything from you, I should be should be able to actually say, Chris, I think we need to talk. And this is how I feel. How do you see it? What do you feel? I'm not coming to attack you, but I'm just expressing what I'm feeling, the way I'm seeing things, and you should be in a place to be able to receive that, you know, not as a judgment on you, but as a cry for help. This is what I'm, you know, where are we going? What are we doing?
But I think then that's a submissive woman right there, I think. That's a submissive woman right there, because if they feel like that, then we shouldn't have a problem in the marriage. Because I personally, I think that if you're doing what you're supposed to do as the woman, and I'm not doing my bit, there's no way, I'm not made of stone. There's no way I'm going to sit there and you're doing this. And I'll be like, you know what? I need to do what I'm doing, because really, I'm going to start feeling guilty at some point and think, you know, this woman is doing all of this. You know, I also need to put my weight in whatever I need to do as a man in the relationship. I'm not going to sit there and just expect her to cleaning, hoovering, and then I just lift my feet up so that she can hoover, you know that kind of thing. No, I'm going to be able to also practically pull my weight. So I don't think there's any man who's dumb enough. Maybe there are, but I don't think there's any dumb enough who just sits there and oh yeah, let her do. She's submitting anyway. You know, right. I'm the man. Maybe there are, I don't know.
You'll be surprised what is out there. You will be surprised.
Exactly.
You know?
Maybe there are, but then that will be easy to submit. That's where the submission for me comes in. You know. So that said, then, why is it that then that a lot of women, I find them, they start doing anything, oh, like you just said that. They start doing something, and because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, then, oh, sorry, then I'm not going to carry on doing it then, because they're actually clearly not saying, without having the conversation, saying, oh, Chris, you're not doing your part, we're having a problem here. You start doing something, and because the man is not reciprocating, showing you gratitude for what you're doing, then you decide, you know what, I'm not going to do. I'm going to stop doing.
That would be misguided of an individual to think that, you know, you're going to walk away, get out of a marriage or relation. Well, yeah, because we're talking about marriage.
Yes.
You're going to get out of marriage because you're not getting what you're expecting from this, because these expectations need to be talked about, need to be laid out, you know. I think it would be sad for someone to take such an action, you know. I think we should be coming to a place where we're sitting down, at least make an effort. But for someone who's not making an effort to express this to you, you know, this is how I'm seeing things, and I feel really stifled because you're not pulling your weight. If they're just deciding it's not working and they're packing their bags and they're walking out, it means maybe they are not really committed. There is no commitment. For me, it shows lack of commitment to this marriage. You know, because if you're really committed to your marriage, you're gonna do as much as you can. You're gonna work hard to keep your marriage. You know, because marriage is not trial. We don't do 1-2 testing with marriage. You know, marriage is supposed to be forever or until death parts us. But if you're gonna chicken out every time you see something wrong, then maybe either you got married too early, prematurely, or you actually don't know why you're in marriage, and maybe you need to take time to really reflect on whether marriage is good for you or not, you know. So for those that run away at the first sight of trouble, I think they have commitment issues.
Now, again, talking about expectation, I'm going to come back to this submission thing for a minute, because it's something I need to address again. But talking about expectation, there you said we need to sit down and work out what the expectation is and talk about the expectations.
Absolutely.
Right. So, as a man, I find it difficult, and I don't know if this is across the board with women, or you can tell me.
Right.
But a few things. One, if I'm doing something for the family and I'm out there, am I expected? Do I expect you to be grateful in terms of maybe also appreciate what you did before, or is it expected that I do it anyway and I'm the man?
No, definitely. There should be expression of gratitude by all means. Okay. By all means, you know, it's very important. Okay. It's very important in marriage, you know, to express gratitude. You know, if somebody is, you know, yes, they're working because they are supposed to be, you know, feeding the family. That's the right thing to do. But, you know, I have to be showing you, Chris, that I am grateful for what you're doing. You're looking after the family, you know. I may be, you know, doing my small bit there, or maybe not even. Maybe I'm just at home and I'm looking after the kids, you know. So that expression of gratitude goes a long way, and I think it's very important. A lot of men, you know, will attest to that. You know, a grateful woman is really, you know, key to them. It's an important, you know.
And grateful by showing by actions, not just saying that they're grateful. Maybe by doing something in return.
Oh yes,
I think
absolutely, absolutely. You know, I can, you know, maybe I may not have, you know, a lot of money on me to do big stuff for you. You know, what does Chris like to eat? You know, what's the meal that really, you know, gets Chris going, you know, and I make that meal and I just say, oh, you know, I made this for you today. I thought you would like this today. And, you know, you come home and, you know, the candles are up there and there's your favorite meal on the table. It just really, it gives you good reason to go out there again tomorrow and do what you do best. Wow. You know, there's many other things, you know, that we can do to express that gratitude. And I don't know, I mean, I don't know for men, but for women, definitely, words of affirmation, you know, they goes a long way, you know. Personally, I really like to be reminded that I'm loved, that I'm valued, that I'm special, you know, that I'm beautiful, it may be seemingly the obvious. Why should I tell her that she looks good? Every day she's always looking good. Why should I, But when you actually say it
from your man,
it does something magical to our connection. Just reminding me that I mean that to you. It just cements our bond. So it's very important. Very important for gratitude to be expressed.
Talking about expectation, because this is something that I will talk about. I keep talking about it and I keep banging the drum. What is the expectation of a man? We talked about there being the role of your man, this is your office, the woman, this is your office, and everyone needs to know what their office is.
Yeah.
So what is the expectation of a man, and is it an expectation that there's certain things I need to do, i.e., when you say looking after the family, I'm always the one who's probably going to buy the food. I'm always the one who's going to make a big chunk of paying the mortgage, the rent. I'm going to make, when you go out, I'm the one who's paying most of our food and stuff like that. Is that kind of the expectation of me as a man, or where did that come from? Is it our background that made that an obvious thing, like, because now you're the man, this is what I expect you to do. There's no talking about it. When you go out, I expect this. I don't have to carry my hand.
Okay, so are you saying is that my expectation of my man?
You as a woman, yeah. That's what I said to you. What is the expectation of a man from a woman?
Okay.
In terms of where the household is concerned, because I struggle with this. Because sometimes I think in my household, if I'm buying food every week. Really, I need help sometimes.
Right.
And I've said, listen, can you also buy some of the food sometimes? It's not like I have to buy. Oh, no, you're the man. You need to buy the food. You need to look after the family. Oh, really? Where is that written? Did we talk about this when we started off?
Who did God give the instruction to go and work the land?
Yeah, I know.
Was it not Adam?
I know.
Was it not Adam?
Yeah, but the woman's a helper, no?
She is a helper, yes, absolutely. I mean, we have to, and it's good that we can reference the Word of God and like that, but we also have to be practical.
Yeah.
We have to be, real about this life, and I think, and I keep saying it, and I'm going to say it again. Conversations are so key. Or all the time, we need to be talking about these things. While there is an expectation that the man is the hunter and I'm the helper, I don't think it then means that simply because I'm a helper, I cannot bring. I shouldn't. I should. If you are able, that's amazing. But if I have ability to go out there and get what I can to help, build our family or keep our family, then by all means, I will do that. I will go and get help. But if I then find myself in a place where I'm just sitting back, not doing anything, but just pointing fingers at you because, you should be doing this, then I think there is a struggle there. There is something that needs to be addressed. So, again, we should be sitting down and, talking about it. You have these kind of expectations of me, but do you not see, I have that responsibility and that responsibility. Maybe if you help me out in that place, we can make things work. So I'm always advocating for conversation. We need to be talking about things. We should not be assuming anything. Assumptions are bad. Have those conversations. I feel this burden is really heavy. This is too much. Can you help me like this? And if she's a helper, because that is her role. If she's a helper, she shouldn't struggle with that. She should not be struggling with that.
Okay.
But people are individuals.
Yeah. So talking of that then, helper again. And submission. I think these ones go hand in hand. Being helper and submissive. What if now the woman earns more money than the man? And you can look at it two ways. I look at it the reverse way in terms of when we got married, you probably weren't earning as much. But you've gotten an education, furthered your education and so on. Now, me, I'm just the photographer, but now you are the managing director. From the fact that I've looked after the house and you've gone out and worked and studied, and now you've got that big job, and now you're earning more than I am.
Right.
Now we have a problem because you probably don't feel like you're not you should, now you think you're providing more. So why do I have to submit to you now that I'm the one with the bringing more bacon to the house? So if I feel like
I shouldn't have to submit.
Yeah, there's that, and I struggle to submit because I'm the one earning more money than you,
Okay.
and you know what I mean, and I don't have to take instruction from you, because
Okay.
and the man ends up feeling inferior, and this has happened. It's not like I'm
and
saying
I can
stuff
appreciate
like-
that. I can appreciate that. I want to start by saying submission should not have to be about where I'm at in my life.
Yeah.
Career, whatever it is,
Yeah.
MD or not MD, submission has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
The Bible doesn't tell me that once I become chief exec, then I don't have to submit to my husband. It just says submit. You could be the top dog. You could be the president of the country for all we care. But your place is to submit, So where you have women who, and it's good that, women are going up, the world has changed, women are holding big offices, that's absolutely amazing. And we advocate for that. But it's not an excuse. It's not a reason to then start disrespecting your husband, because by so doing, you are actually going against the expectations, especially of the biblical expectation that you should be submitting to your man. And I also just wanted to, you said, I'm just a photographer. No, you're not just, you are a photographer.
Yeah, but that's how
you
it
are
ends
a
up being.
photographer,
Yeah.
and you were bringing something. So I think maybe the word that I want to bring to the conversation is adaptation. We should be adapting. We evolve. We are not the people that we were yesterday, 10 days ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We have evolved. When we first met, we were just, two people trying to make life. 5 years on, 10 years on, things have changed. Not necessarily career-wise, but just even as people, the way we see life, our perspective of life has changed. We've had children, a lot of things have changed. And I think it's important for, partners or couples to be able to adapt, to evolve as those things evolve. We need to grow. We should be growing. If we are going to make this marriage work, we ought to be growing. And we should, if we are growing, if we are adapting, by adapting, I mean to say, if there is a change, that change should not come and disturb us. We should be growing from a change, finding new balance in that new level in life. That's how I see it anyway, So for anyone who then turns around and says, because I'm this today, then I have no place to submit to you. I think they have not understood that original instruction of submission, of what submission actually is about. Because a submission is not attached to any job title. It's not attached to anything except to just what it says. Submit to your husband, because that's what God is saying.